Turkey for round 7 of the World Rally Championship. Turkey is where Europe meets the Asian continent, both culturally and geographically. The rally itself is based around the city of Antalya on the country's Mediterranean coast. It's the final instalment of the toughest section of the season, following on from the Cyprus and Greece rallies. Which have seen plenty of car break and heartbreak. To escape the carnage with something to show are Sebastian Loeb, the winner in Cyprus, and Peter Solberg, the Greece winner. They've established themselves as the major contenders in the Drivers' Championship.
For the moment, I'm very happy to be leading with 5 points is very good on this point of the season, but we see that it's always a big battle between Peter and Marco and Marcus.
After winning in Greece, Solberg's reward from his mechanics was a new streamlined haircut.
Which hair? It's not my fault, it's the mechanics, so blame them.
Is that after the victory in Greece?
I was actually, so it was good fun, and I guess if they did a good job and we made us win that rally, they could take my hair.
Their closest challenger is Marco Martin, who'll be looking to put his Greece failure behind him. Following disqualification in Cyprus, Persian have been making as much news away from the events as on them. Grönholm and teammate Harry Robben-Pera will hope that Turkey is the place that they can make the right kind of headlines. In the Drivers' Championship, Loeb is on 43 points, with Solberg 5 points behind. Further back in 6th, Carlos Sainz, winner of the inaugural WRC Rally of Turkey last year. Thanks to the efforts of Sainz and Loeb, Citroën currently lead the pack in the Manufacturers' Championship.
Not surprisingly, given the location of the Antalya region, temperatures are expected to be in the high 30s. The service park is situated at Kemer, just down the coast from Antalya. The rally got going on Thursday night at the Antalya Super Special stage, but the serious action on Friday takes place over 5 stages in the mountains above, before returning for another run through the Super Special. Blue skies disguise the fact that there's been torrential rain here, adding another unknown quantity to the event. As leader of the Drivers' Championship, Sebastian Loeb is first on the road. On a gravel rally, there's normally a disadvantage running first, but the heavy rain, followed by hot sun, has kept together the loose dust and gravel on the surface. Peter Solberg is second to start. For the defending world champion, it's vital to gain points and a championship lead before the tarmac events, where Loeb is the man to beat. But that isn't the start he wanted. The exit from that water splash is wet and slippery, catching the Norwegian out.
We spun a second corner in the stage, and we have to back and do a lot of things, and not very good, not very good.
Marco Martin was fastest on Thursday night's Super Special stage, but he's not enjoying the conditions today.
The ban on gravel crews who gave the latest road conditions is costing him dearly. Now he's driving with no idea where these wet and muddy patches are. Just listen to the pace notes.
And junction 3 plus left, 1.
Now there was no mention of mud there from the
70, crest 4 plus
instructions.
left, and 4 minus
he also
right,
had no idea
crest
what
30
to choose
hairpin
this
left,
morning. It was simply guesswork and luck.
20,
Unfortunately
4
for him,
minus
he chose
right,
the wrong one, taking the hardest option available for 68 km stages.
36 right,
This
30
left him
crest
with
and 2
much
minus
reduced grip
left,
on these
hair,
very slippery conditions.
Which has cost him his overnight lead.
70, 3 minus right, hair.
Incredibly, he's almost a second a kilometre slower than Loeb. A disastrous start to the day for Martin. Whatever the conditions, Marcus Grönholm's never one to ease off the pressure. And he's tackling Turkey with aggression. Ronholm certainly must have confidence in his choice of tyre. Down at 4th place in the championship, the Finns got to start gathering points. The fight starts here. His teammate Harry Rovanperä is already having difficulties though. He's lost traction from his rear differential. And what's even worse, his tyres are too hard, which is costing him time over the stage.
Vasen helppo miinus ja oikein helppo.
And there's another stage to go before service. Daniel Carlson is being lined up for a run in a full works Peugeot later this season. He's currently driving a Bosian Run 206.
He had a fantastic fifth place in Greece, but it does not matter how good a driver you are in these changeable conditions. Remember, his driving is wrecking, but just watch as he sees a large puddle on the inside. Now he tries to drive around and gets caught out of the mud on the outside, over the bank, and rolls out of the rally. I've been in this position once or twice myself.
François Duval, in the second Ford, was third here last year. He made history being at 22 the youngest WRC driver to take a podium place. But like his teammate Martin, he's on the wrong tyres and not making the best of starts.
Gauche 65.
Subaru's Mika Herkkinen says he's determined to work on his pace during this rally. Short of experience at this level, he started well in very difficult conditions.
Without gravel notes, there's gonna be a big accident in this rally. There's places, there's water and it's completely mud and we don't have any idea where it is. Some serious moments.
Despite those hidden hazards, Mitsubishi is starting to look competitive. He's faster than the Fords of Martin and Duval over stage 3.
60 mètres traction, droite 85 plus. Pour gauche un pont court. 100 mètres.
Even in the now bend, Turkey's treacherous stages throw occasional surprises.
Droite 90, long précipice.
Victory here in March 2003 was Carlos Sainz's most recent WRC win. He suffers a puncture, but still manages to be up in 4th place after stage 3. With a normal road track, he'd have to stop and change the wheel, but that isn't the case in the World Rally Championship.
Rally tyres are designed to withstand far more punishment than a road tyre could ever take. The tread has large open blocks to clear gravel and increase durability. There's 30% more rubber, with layers of Kevlar and steel bands, before you even reach the airspace. Within the airspace, there's an expandable foam device called a mousse, and when the tyre is inflated, this mousse contracts. On the rocky roads of Turkey, punctures are a fact of life, with hazards on virtually every bend. But when a rock penetrates a tyre, a chemical within the mousse reacts to the loss of air pressure, and the mousse expands to fill the void. All this in a fraction of a second. A driver can finish a stage without even knowing he's got a puncture, as it was for Carlos Sainz.
And after the first 3 stages of the rally, Sainz is 4th, well ahead of the struggling Fords, but a long way behind Solberg and Grönholm. Sainz's teammate Sebastian Loeb's blistering start has given him a healthy early lead. Harry Rovanperä in the second Peugeot and Gigi Gali are outside the points and a long way off the pace. Back at service, there's a VIP guest amongst the spectators, a member of the Jordanian royal family, eager to find out what the drivers think of the conditions. Something that Sebastian Loeb was happy to talk about.
Being first on the road in this kind of rally is usually very difficult, and today, with the rain we had yesterday evening, it was very good, so I'm very happy for the moment.
Marco, to be blunt, that was a very, very bad start. Why was it so bad?
I don't know, we just didn't have enough information to base our tyre choice on. We just did the best we could, and it wasn't very good this time. It was actually a disaster. We can only do as much as we have the information. Everything else is just guessing.
Marcus, Sebastian Loeb has been very, very quick. Has that surprised you?
Not really. He's always good in these tricky conditions when it's slippy, and he had maybe a small advantage to be first car now. It's in that way now. So the gap is not too big, so we are still there.
Service gave the drivers who'd opted for the wrong tyres this morning the chance to try something different this afternoon. And for Harry Robbenpera, the change immediately pays off.
Oikea eri. Jatkaa oikea täys ylös. 5.
Robbenpera is fastest over the stage. François Duval too has dramatically different fortunes on different tyres. The young Belgian is second quickest. Peter Solberg struggling not with tyres, but with a water splash.
Big catch ball, left plus 20.
The air vent in the Subaru turning into a shower. A chance to cool down in Turkey's high temperatures. So every cloud has a silver lining. The sheer weight of water, though, has mangled the car's plastic and carbon fibre body parts. Marco Martin was next through the water splash, and he fared little better. The damage isn't restricted to the bumper and bonnet. Inside, there are blockages in the cooling system.
25
The
left.
management system is limiting power
5
to
minus
prevent
right.
overheating. Martin's finding out the extent of the damage and losing time as he does so. In the 307, Marcus Gronholm is still running second overall. Despite his own difficulties. He's lost hydraulic pressure, the car's handling and traction are affected, and he's having to change gear manually. But with progress to make in the championship, seeing his rivals in trouble is unlikely to dampen his spirits. Martin does get going again, but loses more than 2.5 minutes on the stage. Gilles Benizzi is a victim of Turkey too. What seemed a positive start for Mitsubishi, fortune has turned against him.
Oh, tu te calmes, ça passe pas la radio, ok?
An electrical fault has stopped the car.
Ils font le... Ah non. Gilles pour Roger. Ouais, on est arrêté.
Co-driver and brother, Hervé Panizzi, investigates. Well, Gilles mourns. He retires from the rally. Teammate Gigi Gali is yet another driver to have fought the water splash, and the water splash won. He passes Panizzi and stops to make repairs. An amazing sight, the two Mitsubishis beach just metres apart. The rally of Turkey has turned nasty. At the end of the stage, Solberg and Martin are both making roadside repairs. And they aren't the only ones. Mikko Hirvonen is trying to repair his radiator after a series of misadventures on the stage. They all made it onto stage 5, along with Gigi Gali. He lost 10.5 minutes, but he is still going. Though perhaps not impressing. For Loeb, progress is far more serene, and far from slow. Though only 4th on the stage, the championship leader retains the lead. And it's also looking good for his teammate, Carlos Sainz. He's benefited from setup changes at the last service. The Spaniard wins the stage and is now attacking third-placed Peter Solberg.
But they're both a long way behind the top two drivers, Marcus Gronholm and Sebastian Loeb. The Frenchman's lead is now just over 13 seconds. Not so happy is fellow championship contender Marco Martin, currently outside the points in 9th. Gigi Ghali's not even in the top 20, and it's a race against time to get the Mitsubishi ready for the final two stages of the day.
It's frantic scenes behind you on Gigi Ghali's car. What's going on?
We come to the famous river crossing in stage number 4 just after the start, and it was slightly different than this morning, and we hit it quite hard as were a number of cars and done some damage. So the boys are just repairing the radiator intercooler in the front panel.
It's pretty much the same story all over the service park. Mechanics working flat out in the soaring temperatures. And drivers trying to keep their cool as they reflect on their misfortunes in the water splash.
It was no bang or nothing in the water splash. It's just the water came up and just destroyed the whole front. Same happened with Marco, and I asked Sebastian, and he is going absolutely flat over there also. So it's very, very strange.
Well, we can tell Petter exactly what the problem was.
Yes, first time through, 60 kilometers an hour, no problem at all. But after the passage of 65 cars, the soft base has been churned up, causing a deeper water splash. And the second time through, although it looks the same from the driver's point of view, Hitton is a much steeper approach and of course much more water. He's slightly slower, but the front bumper disappears under the water, giving Petter a big surprise.
Rally leader Sebastian Loeb is one of the few to have got through the afternoon stages without incident. And his confident progress is watched by one very interested spectator, his former teammate and former world champion Colin McRae. And who better to ask how this year's championship will pan out?
I think it's going to be between Sebastian and Petter. Marcus can still mix it between them, but he hasn't quite got the consistency with the car trouble he's been having. But I really think it's going to be, Sebastian, especially on the tarmac events to come, and Petter would be his only real challenger, I reckon.
But the question everyone keeps asking is, will we see McRae back in the WRC?
Can't say. At the moment there's no definite plans in place. The raid rallies are what I'm concentrating on at the moment. So really, nothing looking too promising.
You're enjoying being a spectator for once?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm not really missing it too much. If I'd really been missing it, then obviously I would push a bit harder for it. But I'm quite enjoying the time off.
And he enjoys casting his expert eye over defending world champion Petter Solberg's driving style.
Petter is a bit tidier there than Sebastian, which isn't really what you would think. Still sliding around a bit.
Marcus Gronholm may not be in McRae's championship reckoning, but he is closing in on the rally leader.
Oikein helppo 8, 110. Vasen. Eri. Soitta vasen eri.
Gronholm wins his first stage of the event and trails Loeb by just 6.5 seconds at the end of stage 6. And there's a battle hotting up further down the field. Carlos Sainz is eating into the margin between himself and third place Petter Solberg. And Sainz is being closely pursued by Francois Duval. Less than 10 seconds separates the three crews contending for third place. No such encouragement though for Duval's teammate Marco Martin. He's had troubles galore. Another run-in with another water splash.
What the I closed it.
One of the engine management sensors is damaged. The car's stalled.
Have a look quickly.
The mechanics tell Martin by phone to use a wire from the headlight to rewire the sensor. It takes him 45 minutes, with former teammate McRae looking on. But he does get going again.
Sebastian Loeb was a second quicker than Marcus Gronholm on the day's final stage, the Antalya Super Special. Their battle for the top spot should be the highlight of day 2, while the tussle between Solberg, Sainz and Duval for third should also provide plenty of interest. Away from the sizzling action on the stages to a slice of life in the Anatolian mountains.
have seen plenty of the tranquil side of life in Turkey on the road sections of the rally, but Day 2's 6 stages are made up of 153 kilometres of tyre-tearing gravel. Stage 9 and 11, the longest of the rally, is run twice. And there's no mistaking this event for anything other than the Rally of Turkey. François Duval took his first podium finish here last year. And his team boss, Malcolm Wilson, is full of praise for the way the young Belgian's been driving since then.
If you look at this year, I would say he's the most improved driver in the championship. I felt really confident before the 3 rough rallies, the Cyprus, Greece and Turkey, that he could probably end up winning one of those events. Sadly, his Cyprus only went wrong for him very early on. But you know, with his experience on this event last year, I think, you know, and the start number that he has on the rally, he's going to be in a very good position, I think, to challenge.
And now he's challenging for 4th place. Chasing Carlos Sainz, last year's winner. Sainz has been under the weather this morning, but after a slow start on Day 1, he'll be wanting to put his stomach upset aside and concentrate on the stages. He's only got a 6.9 second advantage over Duval. And he's already slower. He's lost 4th place to the Ford. 11.3 seconds. That gives Duval a 4.4 second advantage.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Peter Solberg had water splash-induced problems at the end of Day 1, falling behind the leading pair.
50. Flat early 6 right plus.
And now his 3rd place is under threat.
18. Short 5 right half long. Keep in
at the end of Stage 8, he's just 11 seconds ahead of Duval overall.
Vasen eri.
In 2nd place, Marcus Gronholm has a wider margin between himself and the
Vasen
chasing
helppo
pair.
nypyn pidä oikealla. 100. Vasen eri miinus. Ja oikein eri tiukka kirraa.
He described his last 2 events as a nightmare, but so far has experienced nothing here to give him bad dreams.
Nyt oikealla täys ja
His
vasen
target
täys.
is to cut into
100.
Sebastian
Vasen
Loeb's
eri
lead.
suppuu 3 ja vasen nopea kivi sisällä. Ja nyt oikein täys 9.
But Loeb has been carefully managing that lead. And now that he has a better road position, he'll be hoping to extend it. Remember, he's 7.5 seconds ahead of Gronholm. And his time looks good.
80 mètres. Gauche 30 épingle.
8.8 seconds quicker. He's doubled his lead.
Spécial terminé pour Daniel.
It was okay, no mistake, but very difficult at the end, very slippery. You don't understand, you look the road, you think it will be grip and you brake and nothing, so very difficult.
Loeb and the rest of the drivers finding life very different from Day 1. Now the stages have dried out and the surface has become loose and slippery. So, warning signs for everyone. But Gigi Gali has other things on his mind. A turbo problem's lost him time on Stage 8. And on Stage 9, he's really struggling. And François Duval too is finding the going a bit tough.
60 pour tenir. 75. Léger droite sur gauche 120.
He had a side earlier in the stage.
Gauche 120 pour léger droite gauche à fond.
And there, putting block at the apex of the corner. Even so, he still extends his lead over Carlos Sainz. Up ahead, Marcus Gronholm will have been disappointed not to have rattled Sebastian Loeb in the first stage of the day. Loeb is still out in front and in control. Or maybe not.
50 mètres, 80 000 hectares.
He stalled at the start, not ideal preparation to defend his lead on the longest stage of the rally. A chance then for Gronholm to take advantage. But he's setting a blistering time. Now Loeb came into the stage 16.3 seconds ahead of Gronholm. Rocks entering the stages making life difficult. And this, as well as that problem at the start, is costing him time.
80 mètres. Gauche 120 plus.
He's already slower than Gronholm.
Plus, it devient étroit et droite 140 moins Milan. Devient étroit, droite 140 moins Milan.
13.2 seconds. Now add to that a 10-second time penalty for supposedly jumping the start, and that means he's lost the lead.
Gronholm will be delighted with the look of the leaderboard. There's a long way to go, of course, with 8 more stages and nearly 175 kilometres of competitive driving before we can find out who will win the Rally of Turkey. At service, former rally leader Sebastian Loeb has time to reflect on the mistakes that handed the lead to Marcus Gronholm.
Can you take it back? You're going to have to push hard?
Sure, because I was pushing hard to be in front, and he's very fast, so we try to do what we can to catch him.
Are you a bit disappointed?
No, for the moment it's not finished, we'll see.
Francois Duval held on to fourth despite his mistakes and extensive damage to the car's wheel and subframe.
The car is not very good line. I cut a little bit too much. I touch one stone inside the corner.
It's clear that rocks on the stages are now becoming an increasing hazard for the crews on this rally.
With drier roads, there's higher speeds and tighter lines in the corners, and drivers can pull rocks into the road. For the following cars, it's a fine line between missing rocks or hitting them. And if you do hit them, a driver just has to pray that his car and tyres survive. But if you're unlucky,
20.
Like Solberg last year, it's the end of your rally.
I don't believe it.
I don't believe that either.
So, with prayers said and fingers crossed, the crews go on to stage 10. And fortune immediately deserts Sebastian Loeb. Another stall at the start. Citroën might have a launch control problem. But that won't have lessened his determination to fight back for the rally lead. He takes 4.9 seconds out of Marcus Gronholm. Peter Solberg's third overall. Almost a minute behind the pair duelling for the lead. A hard task to catch them, but in a prime position should either push too hard. Francois Duval is just 9 seconds behind Solberg. His frustration is plain to see. The car has a transmission fault. It's a huge disappointment when Duval has been performing so strongly.
Pour gauche, ferme 43. Ferme 43.
But his difficulties give Carlos Sainz the chance to regain fourth place.
5. Izquierda rápida más para uno corto.
But Sainz, as well as Loeb, has a fault with his launch control. Even so, he jumps above Duval. And on stage 11, things get even worse for Duval. With his transmission problem, all he can do is lock the differentials and try his best. But he's lost a lot of traction, and the car is incredibly hard to handle. He loses 2.5 minutes and drops to 6th overall. Waiting in the wings is Harry Robbenpera. He comes out of nowhere and puts in a very strong performance. Leapfrogging not just Duval, but Sainz too, taking 4th place. In the lead is Robbenpera's teammate Marcus Gronholm. He's got just a 2.5 second advantage over Loeb. It's a crucial stage, and Gronholm's eager to extend his lead.
5, tiukka. Ja vaseri, ahdas, 5. Oi, oh! Mitä? Oh! Mitä tapahtuu? Tuli perseeseen jotain läpi. Ai! Kattuko oikeesti?
The hardened sharp has pierced not only the underside of the car, but the seat too, and even the underside of co-driver Timo Rautiainen. The welfare of his co-driver of prime concern. The Finn prepared to sacrifice even the lead.
I have to stop because it came some stone or something through Timo's seat. Up in the Timo. I stopped. He took the belts off and we were slowly, and I asked if it's okay.
A 2.5-second lead has turned into a 14-second deficit. The leaderboard now makes painful reading for Marcus Gronholm, and it must be even more painful for his unfortunate co-driver.
First question, Timo, how's your bottom?
It's sore, it hurts, and it will be black for a few weeks, I think. But this was not a rock, it was not a stone or rock. It has to be something very sharp, something like steel pole or something like that, because there is a hole like that in the seat.
With temperatures at the Rally of Turkey higher than anywhere else on the calendar, life is also pretty uncomfortable at the service park. Fireproof suits and gloves are the order of the day, but with just 20 minutes to fix a car and components hitting 60 degrees centigrade, it's certainly a sweaty business. Particularly when your team leader is closely monitoring your every move.
And it's pretty hot up in the mountains too, where Harry Rovanperä has entered the heat of battle. On stage 12, he pulled away from 5th place Carlos Sainz. On stage 13, he's aiming for more of the same.
But unfortunately, as he exits this hairpin, he tries twice to change gear with the automatic system and has to revert to the manual change. There's just absolutely no way you can change gear. Well, they're checking all the electric switches now. Not even Risto Peterlainen, his co-driver, can do it. Unfortunately, there's no option. He just has to coast to a halt. It's actually his gear change mechanism that's failed. His gearbox is not broken. He really does deserve better.
But his rally is over. Where there's misfortune for one though, there's advantage for another. In this case, François Duval. It's a better end to a bad afternoon. He moves up to 5th. And Duval increases the margin between himself and Mikko Herkkinen behind him. Carlos Sainz too benefits. He moves back up to 4th, where he started the day, despite having such bad stomach cramps that he nearly retired after stage 11. In 3rd is Petter Solberg. He had seemed too far behind the leaders to challenge, but he sets fastest times on stages 12 and 13.
Opens 16. 6th plus 120. 6th plus.
He narrows the margin between himself and Marcus Gronholm to 34.5 seconds. Worth mounting a charge on day 3, perhaps. But Gronholm is back on the pace. With 2 top 3 times in the day's final 2 stages. Though a smooth ride would probably have been Timo Rautiainen's priority. Each bump a painful reminder of that lower body injury. Sebastian Loeb's priority is to end the day as he began it, heading the field.
80 mètres, droite 90.
He gets his wish. The Frenchman set to defend and extend his lead on day 3 of the Rally of Turkey.
And at the very end of the day, the news gets even better for Loeb. Rally officials decided to overturn their original 10-second time penalty imposed on the Frenchman at the start of stage 9. So the lead is now a commanding 26 seconds.
We can win, that's sure, but the problem is that Marcus wants to win too, and our rally is never finished before the end. So we have to continue to fight with Marcus, and we'll see.
Marcus, you're going to have to be very quick tomorrow to catch Sebastian Loeb.
Yeah, it came. Yeah, it was too big the gap now. What it happened 2 stages ago. So it's too much now to catch, I think.
Now I feel very confident that I can have a chance to push Marcus a little bit. Okay, he maybe have to do a small mistake, spin or something, but I think I can push quite a lot harder and get up there and take some time. I think so.
The temperature is already climbing on the third and final day of the Rally of Turkey, but rally leader Sebastian Loeb is trying to stay cool. The day's action is made up of just 4 stages. There are 2 runs through the 33-kilometer Olympos test, and in complete contrast, 2 runs through the really short Aspendos stage, only 5.6 kilometers long.
So, back to the sun-scorched mountains, and Petter Solberg has promised to push today.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 6 right plus. Left of a
He's making the most of the fast sections, reaching speeds of more than 150 kilometers per hour.
And line into half 2 right around hole.
He's got 78 kilometers to catch second place Marcus Gronholm, 34.5 seconds ahead of him.
To keep in of a crest.
Gronholm, for his part, wants to eat into Sebastian Loeb's lead. It's proved a tough task, not helped by the injury to his co-driver, nor by the fact that Gronholm has been troubled by a bad stomach upset.
5, oikea eri, 3, vasen nopea ja oikea, tosi hidas.
All that aside, the team have given him permission to go all out for personal glory.
Vasen nopea, 2 ja oikea nopea risteys.
He's still attacking, or is it second place?
It's difficult now with a gap like that, but what can we do?
But there's still some pressure on Loeb. He's just 25.9 seconds ahead of Gronholm, and is that going to be enough? This would be an incredibly important victory for the Frenchman. His first true win on gravel. He was handed victory in Cyprus after Marcus Gronholm's disqualification, and he's certainly not going to be as quick as Gronholm. But how much slower? 5.9 seconds dropped in 33 kilometres. Can Loeb maintain his lead?
I lost a bit time, but I prefer to be very careful in some places. So in the start of the stage, I was driving carefully. When I saw that he was a bit faster than me, I go a bit faster. And now it's okay, I lost 5 seconds.
Carlos Sainz described day 2 as the toughest of his career. He was suffering badly with cramps and dehydration. The temperature reached 47 degrees Celsius, so it was a distinctly unpleasant experience for the Spaniard. Nonetheless, he looks secure in 4th place. In 5th is Francois Duval. Car troubles have cost him a place and the chance to challenge for a podium position. Real disappointment. But he's still in line to take useful drivers and manufacturers' points. Janne Tuohino, who's being given Duval's seat in the full works Ford for his home rally in Finland, is justifying Ford's faith in him. He's 7th, just behind Mikko Hirvonen in 6th place. Measured drive for Subaru as he picks up experience in this very tough event. Despite the odd mistake, the team are very happy with him. Gigi Ghali's just outside the top 10. And with only 8 manufacturers' cars left, he's set to take 2 points for Mitsubishi. The final point for the Manufacturers' Championship should go to Marco Martin.
30,
and if he's
left,
disappointed to be an hour behind the leaders, he seems pretty relaxed about it.
minus right here. Did you watch football last night? I don't know who won. 33 minus left close.
Even finding time to chat about Euro 2004 with co-driver Michael
left
Park.
3 minus here.
Stage 15 was a dead heat between Loeb and Solberg, with Grönholm just 0.4 seconds behind. So little change in the leaderboard. Petter Solberg's brother Henning completes the point-scoring positions in 8th. At service, leader Sebastian Loeb looks relaxed, unlike his rivals. Petter Solberg's attack hasn't materialised, claiming the temperatures affected his tyres.
Well, I think it was this temperature thing from yesterday. It dropped quite a lot yesterday, and it was constant through the whole stage. And on the stage we did now, we were leading with 6 seconds after 10-12 kilometers on Marcus, and then it dropped, and just 2 more.
Marcus, you tried to take some time out of Sebastian. You took a little bit, but not enough.
Yeah, it was not possible to take more. I don't feel it well yet with my stomach, and I generally got quite tired, but still everything is possible, but it's difficult.
Something to make Marcus feel better. His co-driver Timo Rautiainen is the Inmarsat star of the rally. His reward for continuing after the most painful moments of the rally. When a metal rod which his car flicked up off the road pierced the bottom of the car and his seat.
Okay, now we can laugh, but I was happy to survive.
So to the final 2 stages, and Turkey is still taking its toll. Bosian Racing's Henning Solberg was running well in 8th place, until a mechanical fault forces him to retire. And that means Anthony Warmbold in a privately entered Focus inherits 8th place from Petter's elder brother. Francois has driven consistently and well, living up to the team's expectations of him. But he's suffered through mechanical problems and is highly unlikely to repeat last year's podium finish. And Carlos Sainz can't repeat last year's win here in Turkey. And Turkey Take 2 won't be a rally he'll want to remember. He's been ill throughout the event and shows great determination to keep going. He's in a creditable 4th place. So close to the finish, and problems for Marcus Grönholm, who's now forced to change gear manually. A similar fault to the one which forced his teammate Harry Rovanperä out of the rally. He loses 16 seconds, and hopes are fading fast of catching Sebastian Loeb.
We wondered why you were losing the time on the splits. My gearbox is broken, and I can't. Sometimes it's going the third in, sometimes I have to stay in second on a long part.
So Sebastian Loeb retains the rally lead. He's now more than half a minute ahead of the rest. But Grönholm, with just 1 stage to go, may not make it to the start of stage 17. He's stopped on the road section. But thankfully, with the help of the team's mechanics on the telephone, unlike Rovanperä, he manages to repair the car. Now, it's not pure pace that wins the day in Turkey. You need a bit of caution, a dose of consistency, and a helping of luck. And that's something that's been sorely missing for Grönholm and Rautiainen. During those roadside repairs, Grönholm removed his sump guard. Now he has to squeeze the unwieldy part into his boot, so he doesn't arrive back in service underweight. It's exhausting work in this heat. Petter Solberg has just 5.5 kilometres to make up 18.4 seconds on the struggling Grönholm.
Into 6 left.
He's overcome hellish heat and high water in this rally, but is this a challenge too far?
oikein hidas takapino.
For Gronholm, it's a final push to keep second place. He was 9th in Turkey last year. This is markedly better, but that's not going to be any consolation when the win seemed within his grasp. Loeb has just this short stage before 10 more drivers' points are his. If you ignore the confusion over that time penalty that was later reversed, the Frenchman has led the rally from the first stage on Friday morning. Solberg's the only WRC driver to have scored points in every event in 2004.
Short 6 left.
He hasn't retired since San Remo last year, proof of his consistency and the Subaru's reliability.
36 right fast, 30, 6 left, opens extra long, tightens 5 tightens.
And this good result here in Turkey will bolster his hopes of retaining his crown.
Well done, Bella. Some good points anyway.
Back with Marcus Gronholm. He reported a problem with the tread of one of his tyres earlier in the stage, and now it is completely disintegrated. A bumpy ride, and remember, co-driver Timo Rautiainen's seat will still be rather sore. Gronholm's got an 18.4 second lead on Solberg. Now he's driving with something of a handicap. Can he keep second place? Yes, he does.
Stage is clear for Marcus. We have also lost 1 wheel.
Listen, in any case, nothing else to say than sorry and thank you very, very much.
Out in front, as he has been for 16 stages, is Sebastian Loeb, and this is a real warning sign for the other drivers in the championship.
Yes, most definitely, and when you consider that he is basically a tarmac expert, with all his strong events still to come, he's won on ice and snow in Sweden, an outright win here on gravel. You can now say he's the complete driver, a winner that rarely makes mistakes. Both these guys thoroughly deserve this victory.
Yes, Sebastian, congratulations, winner of Rally of Turkey.
Yes, thank you. Very difficult rally, very hot, and my first victory on gravel. So that I'm very happy.
But the drama isn't over. Loeb has had to drive the final 25 kilometres of the road section on 3 wheels, not 4. Until he checks into this final time control, he can't claim his win.
So a sigh of relief for Loeb, and in the final reckoning he has a victory margin of 26 seconds. His teammate Carlos Sainz is 4th, ahead of Francois Duval. But the major point scorers are Solberg, Gronholm and Loeb. Perhaps not the style in which Loeb would have wanted to return to his team, but nonetheless, everyone at Citroën is delighted.
Well, congratulations, winning your first gravel rally on 3 wheels.
Yes, thank you. I won on 4 wheels, but it's only in the last road section we finished on 3 wheels, yes.
What on earth did you think when the wheel came off? What was the problem? Did you think, this is it, I'm out?
No, the wheel didn't came off. We had a problem with the brake, and the car was braking, so the tire began to be very warm, the brake too, so I prefer to put the wheel away. So after that, the car was going very well.
Marcus, second place, but it was a struggle.
Once again, yeah, we were struggling until the finish, yes.
Physically, and also the car, you were a bit sick this morning, and the car was having a few problems too.
Yeah, the car was also sick, so we were all 3, Timo also. It was difficult rally, very difficult, but okay, second is okay.
And Gronholm might feel even more sick when he sees how far he's behind Loeb in the championship race. He and Marco Martin are in danger of being cast adrift of the leading 2 drivers. Peugeot are also off the pace in the manufacturers' battle, with Citroën now holding an imposing lead over Ford. Next Next up, it's South America, where the fans will be out in force to see if Marcus Grönholm gets a change of luck as he looks for a repeat of his victory in Argentina last year. Here in Turkey, another incident-filled rally ends with celebrations in the service park for Sebastian Loeb's fourth win of 2004. Join us in Argentina, and in the meantime, catch up with the latest rally news at WRC.com.
Oh!